When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, Mek Wi Talk, my people, Mek Wi Talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Mek Wi Talk, people, Mek Wi Talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, Mek Wi Talk. Hey, we live. When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, Mek Wi Talk, my people, Mek Wi Talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Mek Wi Talk, people, Mek Wi Talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. We're listening, watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean. It is the Mek Wi Talk program. I don't know if you all realize that from a couple of months now, there have been anti-protests around the world against corrupt government and against dictatorial governments around the world. And many may say that Jamaica has a democracy that we've never seen anything like that before. Let me make something clear this afternoon. The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Mek Wi Talk program or the host of the Mek Wi Talk program. And this program here is not inciting any riot or anyone to go down and burn down any building or anything like that. I am just speaking. You have seen some anti-protest movement around the globe. From Kenya all over to Nigeria, Bangladesh, and in our own backyard, Venezuela. Tomorrow, I'll be getting, hopefully, a special guest who's a friend of Venezuela to come on my program tomorrow to speak to us about the violence in Venezuela. But let us speak about what is going on in Bangladesh. And one of the reasons why I want to speak about what is going on in Bangladesh is because the former Prime Minister of Jamaica, Mr. Bruce Golding, was in Bangladesh a couple of months ago. I think, yes. And the invitation of Baroness Scotland, who is the Secretary General of the Commonwealth. And why we're going down that road, people, is because they keep on saying that Jamaica is a democracy that a lot of people can learn from our democracy. And I agree with them, yes. But on the other hand, my grandmother always tell me, when you see a lion sleeping, don't wake them up. And the words of our politicians in this country, they keep on saying to ignite a nation. And I keep on saying to them, be careful how you use this word ignite, Be careful how you use this word ignite. If you see what is going on in Bangladesh, we got up to news this morning that the Prime Minister of Bangladesh has resigned because of nepotism, cronyism, and corruption, and other things in Bangladesh. And this same program here, I keep on saying to you all that the people of Sri Lanka couldn't stand a family run in Sri Lanka for how many years? And they decided to take to the streets. The people of Kenya, when the Prime Minister of Kenya, the President of Kenya, decided to raise certain basic necessities and put on taxes on certain things, the young people of Kenya decided none of it. And they took to the streets. As I said before, the Mek Wi Talk program is not telling anyone to go to the streets. I am just merely showing you all something. And now it is going on in Bangladesh, where the Prime Minister of Bangladesh has to flee her own country this morning. The protesters wouldn't give up. And they said to her, you need to go. You need to go. And when you have a government turning gun on its own people, that means enough is enough. It is so good that the army in Bangladesh decided they will not take side with the Prime Minister or the government of Bangladesh. They take side with its people. And the army is now in charge of Bangladesh because the people have spoken. I don't know what happened to these so-called presidents and prime ministers of countries who believe that when they go there for life. And they want to treat the people in any how they feel like treating the people. Well, the people of Sri Lanka, the people of Bangladesh have spoken. I want you all to listen to an interview. A lot of you don't want to listen to a certain radio station, but I have to play when I get news and it's credible news. Well, I shouldn't say credible news. When I listen to something and it makes sense, I'll put it on my program here. And I heard former Prime Minister Bruce Golding was speaking on a certain radio station nationwide this morning about Bangladesh. And he used a particular word in the interview. And I asked myself the question, is the former Prime Minister giving the current Prime Minister a warning? I want you all to listen to what the Prime Minister of Jamaica said, the former Prime Minister of Jamaica said. Then I want to go to the chaos on the streets of Bangladesh, where the people of Bangladesh said enough is enough. And now the Prime Minister flee to neighboring countries or the neighboring country of India. I want you all to listen to what Mr. Golding said. And we must speak sense out of nonsense. I want you all to listen to him, please. Bear with me here, please. If you're just joining us, this is the Mek Wi Talk program. I want you all to listen to this.
This morning, that's been leading the international bulletins across the world of the Prime Minister of Bangladesh abruptly resigning and fleeing the country to neighboring India as a result of nationwide protests that have gone violent and deadly. Yesterday alone, 91 persons or protesters were killed. Yes, members of the national police have turned their guns on the people of Bangladesh, and they were determined to get rid of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, who has been in power since 2009. Well, former Jamaican Prime Minister Bruce Golding was in Bangladesh in January. He joins us now. Good morning, Mr. Goulding.
Hi, good morning, Cliff. How are you?
I'm fine. What were you doing in Bangladesh in January?
I was asked to lead the Commonwealth election observer mission. Well, I need to correct that. The Commonwealth Secretariat was deeply concerned about the state of democracy in Bangladesh, and so it took a decision not to send a formal election observer mission, but to send what they called a panel of experts, and I was asked to lead that team. The technical staff got to Bangladesh before I did, and when I got there, they briefed me on their assessment, and it wasn't pretty. Political rights were routinely suppressed. By that time, the opposition parties, including the main opposition party, had taken a decision to boycott the elections, to protest the conditions under which the elections were being held. The main opposition party indicated to us, we weren't able to verify the figure, but all the people we spoke to suggested that the figure would not be far off. But they indicated to us that over, I think, 21,000, over 21,000 of their officials and activists had been imprisoned without charge, including their general secretary. The politics of Bangladesh is so murky. The Prime Minister's father is a former president who was assassinated. The leader of the main opposition party, who is also a woman, her husband is a former president, and he was assassinated. Both of them have been imprisoned by the other side whenever the other side was in power. So
you mean both female leaders of the two main
opposition? Both female leaders, yeah. They were imprisoned by their opponents when their opponents were in power. So the situation is very, very polarized. Now, we observed the elections, visited a lot of the polling stations, and we didn't see anything untoward. I mean, we didn't see anything like stuffing of ballot boxes and so on. But then the opposition had boycotted the elections. So the polling itself was relatively uneventful, apart from reports that we got that in some areas, some voters were not allowed to vote. Now, a couple of things I must tell you. In the course of our preparations and our discussions and consultations, we met with a gentleman whose name escapes me right now. I'm actually on the road.
I'm going to go back to what the Prime Minister is saying. If you're just joining us, good afternoon and welcome to the Mek Wi Talk program. We're speaking about the mass protests in Bangladesh, where the protesters demand the Prime Minister to resign. Jamaica's former Prime Minister Bruce Golding was in Bangladesh in January. An interview with Mr. Golding on Nationwide this morning caught my attention. And I want you to listen to what Mr. Golding is saying about Bangladesh.
Who is a university professor who established an institute for the furtherance of democracy. He leveled with us. He was so, frank and candid with us in terms of explaining to us his own perspective as to what was happening. And while we were talking with him, he said to us, now, having come here to meet with you, I'm not sure if I will get home safely.
Wow.
And would you know, Cliff, while we were meeting with him, I got word that security officials were at the hotel where we were staying and where we were meeting, inquiring about him and asking which room he was in.
Ooh.
And that prompted me to call the Secretary General, Baroness Scotland, to indicate what had developed. And I suggested to her, or indicated to her, that if anything happened to him, if anything untoward happened to him, I was prepared to collapse the mission and depart. And she said, if that is your judgment, you have my support. Well, up to when we left, we understood he was he was still safe. Now, I had the opportunity to meet with the Prime Minister. As a matter of fact, we were the first mission to have had that opportunity right after she was sworn in. And I spoke very frankly with her. And I pointed out to her that the state of democracy leaves much to be desired, and that as the Prime Minister, who has been there for some time and has just been re-elected, she had to provide a leadership to try to repair the damage that had been done. And I cited the example of Nelson Mandela. I said, look at all that he suffered, and yet when he came to power, he put aside the bitterness and so on. And I appealed to her as a member of the Commonwealth and indicating to her that, look, we have to make a report to the Secretary General. I would love to be able, in that report, to indicate that based on discussions that we have had with you, we are hopeful and encouraged that a new approach will be taken towards the political situation. Well, she lectured me for about 10 minutes and ended up asking the question, one of the things that I'd asked her to do, whether or not she'd be willing to invite the opposition leaders to sit down with her to see if they can find some common ground. And she asked me the question, she said, if your opponents had murdered your father, would you be prepared to sit down with them? So she was very hostile, very adamant that, as a matter of fact, in the course of the discussion, she referred to them as terrorists. And I ended up by suggesting to her that things are not going to remain as calm and smooth as she might be hoping. We have picked up that there was a tremendous amount of discontent on the ground. I even used the word saturated. I said, some of the people that we have spoken with give us the impression that the ground is saturated with discontent. And we think it's important for you to try to head that off, to try to show a new approach and to try to see if you can bring the country back together. Well, she wasn't into that at all. So when I saw what started happening there over the last few days, I was not at all surprised. And then I was on the road when I heard your news breaking that she has actually fled the country. Now, part of the problem I found was that in her approach, in dealing with her opponents, she seemed to have had a tremendous amount of comfort and support from India.
Where she has fled to.
Well, that's where she has gone. And interestingly, Bangladesh, the economy there has been doing pretty well. They still have a lot of people living in poverty and so on. But in terms of the numbers, the economy was doing well. They've got a lot of help from China, from Russia, and from India. And the economy was growing at something like 5 or 6%. But the political environment was terrible. And of course, Bangladesh is one of the most populated countries in the world,
174 million.
174 million.
Yes, the eighth most populated country.
When those numbers erupt, I was a little surprised when I heard that she had fled, because
the Prime Minister should say, when those numbers in Bangladesh erupt, hell broke loose and hell did broke loose. Listen to some more of what the Jamaican Prime Minister was saying on Nationwide about Bangladesh, because he visited Bangladesh in January of this year. Listen to some more.
She's a woman of iron, she's an iron steel woman. She's tough and unbending. But if she has decided that it is in our best interest to flee, then the situation must be even worse than I've been following in the press over the last couple of days.
Well, I heard her son, who is a former advisor of hers, telling the BBC this morning that she was resisting leaving, and it was members of her family who told her that she had no option but to go, citing how they had killed her father before and other members of the family, and they were at the point where they believed that she was about to be killed.
You hear that? These people decide that they have to bring in everybody in their family to run a government, to run a country. And they have no intention of leaving because they want to run a dictatorial state. It sounds familiar to you? Does that thing sound familiar to you? Listen to some more of what the former Prime Minister is saying.
Because the army had also turned against her. The army, as distinct from the national police, had said no, they were not going to continue with the shooting of demonstrators and protesters, and had indicated to her that she had to go.
Two responses to that. I'm glad you mentioned it. We got an understanding from several of the people that we had spoken with that her plan was to resign after about a year to install her son as the new prime minister, and she would become the ceremonial president. Which
you hear that? Her father was running there in the 1970s, and what they did, the people decided enough of you, and they killed her father and other members of her family. She was in, maybe I think she was going to school in India. And the ambassador of Bangladesh break the news to her. And now, her intention was to stay there. And after a year or so, she resigned as prime minister, give her son the prime ministership, and she become president of Bangladesh. Only see what's going on? These people are power hungry. Listen to some more of it.
Based on our discussions, would still have left her effectively in charge. The second point is that the political leaders, particularly those who rely on force and military support, must understand that there are not many armies in the world that are prepared to stand up against the people if they see that the people are resolute and determined.
You hear what Bruce Golding said? When I heard that part of what Mr. Golding said, I asked myself the question, is the former Prime Minister sending a message to the current Jamaican Prime Minister? Well, if you think you can hug up the army, you make a sad mistake. Because this government, of which Andrew Holness is a part of, seems as if he wants to politicize, if there's such a word, both the army and the police force. The Prime Minister of the former President of Jamaica said that if the army will not stand by, not the Jamaican army, mark you, I didn't say anything about the Jamaican army. What he said is that there is not so much army in the world will stand by and side with a government turning guns on its own citizens. Now, if the Jamaican people decide to stand up against nepotism and corruption in our country, what will happen? The level of crime and other things going on in the country. Listen to some of what the former Prime Minister was saying on Nationwide with Mr. Cliff Hughes.
And, you may feel that you have the army behind you, but if the army sees that they are on one side and the people are on the other side, they are going to reconsider their position.
Yep.
And that may be what has happened.
You hear? When you feel you have the army on your side, and the head of the army realize that the people is saying enough is enough, like what happened in Bangladesh and other parts of the world, the army gonna side with the people. As a clear message, the former Prime Minister was sending, I am not saying that there's something going on in Jamaica or whatever, but the former Prime Minister is sending a clear message to certain governments in the Caribbean. Now call no name Jeffrey, behave yourself this afternoon. Go ahead.
Yeah.
But
But
it's sad.
it is sad. It is sad. And 91 and counting, 91 alone on Sunday.
Yesterday,
Yes. You're not
and there were I think about 50 or 60 before that.
Yes. Yes. And
91 people was murdered by the by the police in Bangladesh. Murdered. The police murdered 91 of its own citizens because of certain people want to hang on to power. No wonder Ernest Smith sing a song as we fight for the power. Jack Kingdom must fall. Well, not Jack Kingdom, whatever kingdom they have must fall. You have some people who believe that they must gain power at any means and remain in power at any means. Listen to some more, please.
Mr. Golding, we have our own situation here in the region. Venezuela is also sitting on a powder keg.
Well, I don't know if I can believe what the opposition is claiming. The opposition is claiming that based on the tally sheets coming out of the polling locations, that they had a majority of 70 to 30.
Yes, yes.
I see a number of countries, including the EU, who's calling for the tally sheets to be published. But
hold on there for me, ladies and gentlemen, people, my listeners, my students, my viewers and subscribers. Share up this live for me, no? Share the live, man. Like, share, and subscribe. Share the live. I want to get a little bit more of what the Prime Minister said about, the former Prime Minister said about army. He was sending a message. And I want to listen to some more of it. Hold on for me. I can see if I can find it back. Hold on for me, please.
appears to be a situation.
International bulletin.
Oh, Lord.
Now, I had the opportunity to meet what started happening there over the last few days. I was not at all. Standing from several of the people that we had spoken with, that her plan was to resign after about a year to install her son as the new prime minister. And she would become the ceremonial president, which, based on our discussions, would still have left her effectively in charge. The second point is that the political leaders, particularly those who rely on force and military support, must understand that there are not many armies in the world that are prepared to stand up against the people if they see that the people are resolute and determined. And you may feel that you have the army behind you, but if the army sees that they are on one side and the people are on the other side, they are going to reconsider their position. And that may be what has happened.
Yeah.
But it's sad.
It is sad. It is sad. And 91 and counting, 91 alone on Sunday.
Yesterday.
Yes.
And there were I think about 50 or 60 before that.
Yes, yes. And Mr. Golding, we have our own situation here in the region. Venezuela is also sitting on a powder keg.
Well, I don't know if I can believe what the opposition is claiming. The opposition is claiming that based on the tally sheets coming out of the polling locations, that they had a majority of 70 to 30.
Yes, yes.
I see a number of countries, including the EU, who's calling for the tally sheets to be published. But it appears to be a situation not dissimilar to what we found in Guyana.
Sorry about that. I said my take on Mr. Golden. I believe the former Prime Minister was sending a direct message. Are you all hearing me now? Are you all hearing me now? Because no. What's going on here? Are you all hearing me? Okay, thank you. My take on it, that the former Prime Minister, the former Jamaican Prime Minister, Orette Bruce Golding, was sending a message to some government in the Caribbean, or to a particular government in the Caribbean. That's my take on it. Listen to some more what Mr. Golden is saying. Then I'm going to play some video. I'm going to have Ambassador Andy Mashali out of South Africa to come on the platform here and tell us his views, what he thinks of what is going on. Listen to some more of what Mr. Golden is saying.
In the last presidential elections, when if the result of a polling station said your party got 170 votes and my party got 40 votes, when they presented those results, it was the reverse. You know, they took off a zero off of mine and they put on a zero on yours.
Yeah, so brazen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that statement I made that I had never before seen such a transparent attempt to alter the result of an election. It was so brazen, you know.
Yes. And Mr. Golding, we here in Jamaica have a lot to be thankful for and to be vigilant. Yeah.
God, yes.
In protecting.
God, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we came close. In 1980, we stepped back from the brink. In 2016, it was what, 32-31? Yes. And we did not have one shot fired. Yeah.
Well, you know, we probably need to conduct some seminars and invite the Democratic Party and the Republican Party to come and learn how democracy is supposed to work. Because
Mr. Golden, you're saying that the government, well, the Jamaican people should invite the Democrats and the Republicans of the United States to come to Jamaica, and we're going to have seminars and teach them how democracy works, sir. You may be right, Mr. Golden, but under this current administration, Mr. Golden, your party, Prime Minister Golden, obviously it seems as if your party is going a different way from you, sir, being a former Prime Minister. Because obviously, our democracy is at risk in this country, Mr. Golden. The soul of Jamaica's democracy is at risk, sir.
What is happening in America now? I never thought would ever be possible.
Yeah. They are in trouble as well. Serious trouble. Yeah. Thank you very much, former Prime Minister Bruce Golding.
Okay.
Thank
Have
you.
a good day.
That was an interview with former Prime Minister of Jamaica, Prime Minister Orette Bruce Golding. Former Prime Minister of this country. My Jamaican people, I want you to listen to what is going on in Sri Lanka now. And it begs to ask the question in this country of Jamaica. Well, let me say this. Not beg to ask the question. Let me say this. That they continue saying that this country is a democracy. And I often use the word, I often have to use this word, in which modern democracy. Well, if we all think that this country is not in a crisis, then there's something wrong with us. When you have a country can't restore its power, the electricity, JPS, to the country than if Beryl had hit Jamaica direct. Then God help us. Because until now, JPS can't resume power to certain parts of the country. Yet they collect millions a day, millions of dollars every day from the Jamaican people when they thief them and run up there, give them all kind of bill, estimate bills and all kind of something. And we sit down in this country and accept it. Since you know said Jamaica is a democracy, in which modern democracy can this nonsense happen? In which modern democracy can you have a prime minister running this country and all know he can declare his statutory declaration? In which modern democracy can this nonsense happen? And you hear nothing. I heard Mr. Rattigan in a program on Sunday saying, and I'm not against Jamaicans jumping up for Mr. Cartel, you know. Don't get me wrong. Not against it. The man deserved to come out and he did. But what we are saying, the Jamaican people came out in their numbers to cheer on their icon. All good and dandy. But will they come out in their numbers to say enough of police brutality? Enough of nepotism and corruption and cronyism in this country? $1.something trillion is unaccountable for. Will the Jamaican people get up and talk and say enough of that? I want to show you all something here. Mr. Golden was sending a message that if you all think we're going to use the Jamaica Defense Force against the Jamaican people, we're going to make a sad mistake. If you all think you're going to use the Jamaica Defense Force against its own people, we're going to make a sad mistake. Let me make something clear this afternoon. I could come on this program till I blew in the face. Rattigan could come on this program till he blew in the face. And others. If the people of Jamaica do not stand up for what they believe in, if the people of Jamaica don't say enough is enough, there is absolutely nothing. We could have 1 million protests in the United States, in Canada, in England, all over the place, in Germany, in wherever we want to have the demonstration. It lies in the hands of the Jamaican people. Obviously, there's nothing going on in Jamaica. Only we see there's something wrong. There's nothing wrong going on over there. Everything is good. A bunch of old men and a bunch of so-called diaspora people get up every day and cuss, so sitting there going to Jamaica. There's not a damn thing going on in the country. The Jamaican people is okay. You know also where the priority lies? Their priority lies in one thing, is to get up and go dance all and dance and have music and come back home. That's where the priority lies. So when you have, we get up every day to quarrel about Jamaican corruption and whatever. No corruption in Jamaica. The corruption is in Jamaica. I lift my hat to the people of Kenya. I lift my hat to the people of Venezuela. I lift my hat to the people of Sri Lanka and to the people of Bangladesh. Those are the people who believe in their country. They don't believe in no party. Those People believe in their country. They are citizens of their country. And they put their country first. They don't put any political party first. Or any leader of any political party. They believe in their country and they will stand up for the democracy of their country. That's what they believe in. But you have some people in our country. That is why, I don't care who want to vex with me, Me not care who want to vex with me. I want to come back on this program. Nothing to me. If the people of the land of wood and water, if the people of the land that the national anthem says, Eternal Father, bless our land, guide us with thy mighty hand. If the people of the country that said, I pledge the love of my heart, do not stand up for that piece of rock, then nobody else can't do it for them. Nobody else cannot do it for them. I want you all to listen to what is going on in Bangladesh. I'm going to shut my mouth. Hold on there for me. Take my time. Take on the time with me. I want you all to listen to this. From the BBC. One moment, please.
Now to Bangladesh, where an indefinite nationwide curfew is in force as unrest between police and anti-government protesters continues. At least 90 people were killed on Sunday. Police used tear gas and rubber bullets to disperse demonstrators in several parts of the country. Supporters of the Prime Minister, Sheikh Hasina, clashed with demonstrators who were demanding she resign. Student protest leaders have declared a campaign of civil disobedience, urging people not to pay taxes or utility bills. They're also calling for the shutdown of factories and public transport. Protests began in July when student leaders demanded the government abolish a quota in civil service jobs, which favoured relatives of those with military backgrounds. Well, that provision has now been scaled back, but those taking to the streets say they're also concerned about human rights in the country, accusing the government of violently suppressing dissent and wrongly jailing members of the opposition, allegations the government denies. I've been speaking to DC-based Bangladeshi journalist Mushfiqul Faisal Ansari, who also served as the Assistant Press Secretary to Bangladesh's former Prime Minister Khalida Zia, the chair of the opposition Bangladesh Nationalist Party. What are the wider concerns that people have in Bangladesh? Why else are people taking to the streets?
So they basically don't rely on Prime Minister's remarks and comment, because they always, when Prime Minister declaring something, she is not maintaining, or she is not keeping her words. For instance, the court orders, if you can refer the Supreme Court order, is also controlled by the court, because this problem is instigated by the court. And for instance, I can give how the court is working in Bangladesh. When attorneys very recently filed a petition just 2 days before not to shoot to the students, as Prime Minister declared shoot on sight order, but the court denied to accept this. That means the courts is given order to shoot to the students and protesters. This is how our courts works in Bangladesh.
And just to explain to people who aren't familiar with the politics of Bangladesh in a more simple way, perhaps, I've reported from Bangladesh. I've spoken to people who accuse the government of stifling free speech and cracking down violently, in some cases, on dissent. Is that a wider concern that the students also fear then as well?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this protest is for the quota system, abolish the quota system for the merit basis, but it's more larger. If you can recall, this is the fourth consecutive term Prime Minister is in power without any mandate. You know, the people are fighting for their rights, and whenever they are coming for their rights in the street, Prime Minister and our party treating them as criminal, as terrorists, this kind of rhetoric. But these students from the secular university, they are fighting for their rights to establish, their rights in the quota system. So now their demand is 1 point, because they don't rely the Prime Minister commitment, and she's broken all the time. Yeah.
Okay, just very briefly, if I may ask you, they are calling for Sheikh Hasina to resign. She won in an election earlier this year, although the opposition did not contest that election, so many debate the legitimacy of it. Do you think her position is more unstable now?
Of course, because the election is recognized as sham election. You know, international community, they rejected this kind of election, not non-participatory, and it's a sham election. So obviously, and the one point the students demanding, obviously she has to resign. This is the only solution. And in our country, we have that experience, the non-party caretaker government system, they are in these circumstances, they are coming to this and they're taking the responsibility. So students are demanding now, all kind of people are demanding one point, and internet shut down in Bangladesh.
You hear that? Are you familiar with a certain word from Jamaica's Minister of National Security, who said shoot and ask question after? That's what the Prime Minister of Bangladesh did. I'm gonna join pretty soon by Andy Mashayeli, security strategist and retired Interpol ambassador to South Africa. I'm gonna join with him soon. Let me just get this out of the way here. In case you all don't realize that this country of ours that we call Jamaica is in a way where if the people of our country do not stand for what they believe in, then it makes no sense for us who are standing up every day to get up every day and talk about Jamaica, but yet the people who are feeling the crisis in the country not speaking out. And that is why sometimes you hear some people say, them are people who say chat, now go on. The country's all right. The country's all right. One moment for me, please. I get through to Ambassador Andy Mashayeli. One moment for me, please. I say I can get through to the gentleman here. Good afternoon, Ambassador.
Good afternoon, good evening from South Africa to your side there. It's about 10 p.m., a few minutes past 10 p.m. And I know that you are in the afternoon and your heavyweight champion show listeners.
Yes, sir. I have with me on my program here Andy Mashayeli, security strategist and retired Interpol ambassador to South Africa. Ambassador, you see what's going on in Bangladesh, sir? Your take on it?
What is going on in Bangladesh teaches you and I and the listeners to your heavyweight champion show a number of things. One, when you are entrusted with leadership of the people, take them into your confidence, move along with them, explain things that they don't understand. Most importantly, give them a hearing. Number two, if you don't give them a hearing, national security will be compromised as it is now compromised in Bangladesh. The people who have been killed, almost 100 people that have been killed by the security forces, suggest one thing to us who are standing on the sidelines of this game of foolishness that is playing out in Bangladesh, having it been initiated by Sheikh Hasina, the former prime minister who's now fled Bangladesh. Number three, when you spend time with people and they are unhappy and you decide to use the armed forces or their resources, law enforcement agencies or military institutions, and you kill members of people's families, the country will rise and they will deal with you decisively. And in this case, it's not only decisively, it's violently and militantly so. Militantly so, which leads us to point number 4. Militantly so, as represented by the army that said it is distancing itself from the violence that happened in the street and will take control of the country in the interim until a governing structure has been set up. And this is a warning to all other regimes in the world, be it in Jamaica, be it in South Africa, be it in other states of Africa, of the 54 states and other countries in the world. Take care, those who are in leadership and those who are listening. Take care of very important things. National security is informed by appeasing the people. Appeasing the people does not mean that you do everything that the people are looking for. In some instances, you find criminals, organized criminals and transnational organized criminals stoking the furnace of discontent. So there are a number of dynamics that are informing us who are in the security strategy game, who do analysis, who look at the weaknesses. The weaknesses are very clear in these instances, and the people have pressed that button of weaknesses in order to turn their anger, their suppression, their oppression, and their exclusion and dispossession of their rights. They have turned that weakness into a strong weapon that made that lady, the former prime minister, to run away from home. And it is an indictment for a leader to run away from the people who have voted her into power and kept her into power. And at the end of the day, she lost focus and direction and got excited and turned Bangladesh into a personal fish and chips store, tuck shop, or fiefdom. The people will show you that you can think that you can think that the country is your personal and private fish and chips operation. It is not. It is a country that has people who can think, who might not have the AK-47s that the military is using, then the police are using, but the people's anger and the people's unity and the people's wishes in terms of a safe and secure and stable country, as well as a stable economic situation in that space. If you mess up with those things, the people will do what they did to her. They will chuck you out of the house.
Indeed. Ambassador, you're a security analyst. When you look on what is going on in other parts of the world, it happened in Kenya, where the people of Kenya decide to rise up against the government in Kenya. Is it that these governments are not listening to their people who put them there? Either don't have any respect to their people, sir? What do you think?
You talk about the Sahel Valley, you talk about the young gentleman from an age point of view, not from a disrespect of the position. Captain Traore of Burkina Faso and all other the generals in that particular area, in that particular space. When the people have had enough, they will rise. And when the people want reform, and the reform happens for your pocket as the prime minister or the president, when reform happens in your pocket, when you steal money and you upgrade your family's welfare and well-being, the people will show you that it is not, the country is not about you. The people in the Sahel Valley rose against the evil empires of the French. This in the last 2 years or in the last 3 years, where the French people are being kicked out in Africa, and as it's happening in Tahiti, and you realize that the people have shared information. This is what I like about social media in instances of this nature, where people can communicate, where people can see images all over the world, and where people are now exposed to information because of serving the internet or the information highway. People now know better. Before the advent of social connections in your social media space, leading to people doing further research on your Googles of the world and your DuckDuckGos of the world, people now begin to understand that you are not helpful to them in Tahiti and in Burkina Faso, the land of the free. By the way, that's what Burkina Faso means.
Yeah.
You are not doing them a favor. We know that you came there to steal resources, and take them to France and process them. At the end, you send them back to South Africa in a form of ornaments, in a form of your necklaces and wedding rings and diamond rings, but you have not created a lively economy for the welfare of the people of those countries. You and I know very well, Jeffrey, that many countries, the West, by the way, Australia, America, and the United Kingdom call themselves the West. 3 countries went into the world, including the French, went into the world and stole some of our artifacts, even stole some of our people in South Africa. I'm talking about the Sarah Baartman story. So
Yeah.
I'm giving you this short little picture so that it can resonate with the minds of the people who are listening. Why would people rise and say the French must get out of Niger, they must get out of Burkina Faso and other countries? It's going to happen throughout the world. And from a projection point of view, there are many areas where there's serious dissatisfaction. Yet the Jamaicas of the world, your Caribbean communities, and many things that are happening, many wrong things that are happening there as a result of the Commonwealth bondage. And by the way, those countries that have that are members of the Commonwealth, they might be under the impression that they are being led by the Prime Minister or the President elected as a result of the general elections or those elections. You and I know that where there's Commonwealth, it means that country's head is King Charles now. South Africa is also part of Commonwealth, and people are led under the impression that Nelson Mandela came to the party to create a democratic dispensation, forgetting that South Africa is part of the Commonwealth before the new advent, and in the last advent, the British are running the Commonwealth. Those are the real heads of the state, and that's why you see in other instances the people who balkanized the world, including your European countries as well as the African continent, are being chucked out because of the same thing that the lady Sheikh Hasina in Bangladesh has been kicked out for.
Ambassador, do you think that, based on what we're hearing, obviously, somebody told the army and the police to shoot and ask question after. Do you think that, as a former Interpol ambassador, do you think that the Criminal Court of Justice in The Hague will, start investigating something like this?
I'm sure the people, now that they know which processes and which procedures to follow, when you add process and procedure together, you get what is known as a system. The people understand the system now of the Hague, the International Court of Justice, and the ICC. It is very important that we familiarize, we meaning the people of the world. The people of the world familiarize themselves with many other systems. That's the only way in which they can topple the so-called Goliaths of the world, the Americas of the world, and the Britons of the world. I am sure that the people will go into that space and pursue justice for the 100 people that have been killed criminally. So in my space, and you know me, Jeff, how I operate.
Yes.
Justice should obtain, whether there's pain for that prime minister or not, or there's pain for the French people in Niger, having it being kicked out, as well as in Burkina Faso, the French people being kicked out. If they are found to have committed wrongs against the people, there's only one thing that must happen: hang them within the confines of the law. Hang them, meaning through the courts. Hang them dry so that they can understand that you cannot force a human being, either through manipulation, resources, what they would call funding, grants and loans that would make our economies, make the economies of the world run. The economies of the world can run without funding that comes from the International Monetary Fund. We have heard the confessions of economic hitmen and how they operate, and many of those things that they have done. It is significant that we raise these issues so that they serve as a warning to the leadership. Remember, in my space of being a security strategist, it is my responsibility to advise those who are interested in getting the advice with regard to national security, personal security, food security, environmental security, home security, as well as the security of those who have the interest of the country at heart, meaning those who are participating in economics, including those who would like to be referred to as investors, those with no satanic intentions. Like we have seen investors being called the markets. In South Africa, when you raise issues of the land, you are told that the investors will mess up with the rent. And the investors in this instance and in this context would be white people who have monopoly power, like knowing very well that the EFF in this country refers to something as white monopoly capital. White people who've got the money, who are referred to as the markets. So long story short, those who refer themselves as investors with satanic intentions of running the country from their corporate offices must learn a lesson from people like Sheikh Hasina, who I would want to immediately check the lifestyle. You saw the people were trashing the house, the residence of the Prime Minister. It means that people were fed up. And I understand why they did that. I don't agree with it. I will never condone it or support it, but I understand why they would go into the house and take some of the things, the utensils, cooking utensils, take them away, and potted plants. Those goods that were stolen are the taxpayers' assets, and someone would think that those who have paid for those assets and ensure that there's money in her house. The minute she decided to think that that's a personal fiefdom, it's a personal, that country is a personal ATM. The people have showed that they have what it takes.
But Ambassador, when you look on the whole protest, Ambassador, even in Kenya, and now in Bangladesh, it's mainly college students who are taking to the streets, Ambassador.
We led that example. We led that fight in 1976.
Yes.
In 1976, I threw stones. In 1976, there was tear gas. Tear gas was in a powder form by then. There were those little mini Land Rovers that we see in your movies, in your Jurassic Park movies, chasing us. We were being shot at. It is the students from Maurice Isaacson. You know our friend, the
Yes.
people's poet Mzwake. They were leading the charge, and some of us were leading the charge just 10 kilometers away from Soweto. The fight was messy. The fight was deadly. Some people disappeared many years ago, and we still don't know where they are. Fast forward to 1984, the same thing that we did when I was detained. We were at high school by then, and we were finishing off high school, some of us, and we went on the rampage. We wanted to ensure that the system that was more operating like what is happening in Kenya and Bangladesh, as an example, collapses. And yes, we were able to shake the system. So college students are very powerful. Like I said, I don't condone any form of violence, but I understand when the people rise, it is because those who are charged with the responsibility of listening to them have decided not to listen to them.
And when you have a leader of a country who refuse to listen to its people who put them there, then you can say there's something fundamentally wrong, huh, Ambassador?
I'm a trained guerrilla, I'm a trained soldier.
Yes.
If government does not want to listen to the people, there's only one thing that you must do. You must take them out of office by any means necessary. I'm now invoking Malik Al-Shabazz, Malcolm X. It is important that we take them out of power, not for you to go into office. Some of us never went into government to become ministers and many of those things. I chose when I was given an opportunity and requested to move from corporate because of my business background, business administration expertise and skill, and I was called in to assist law enforcement and many of those things. I chose to be on the right side, on the good side of the people, and ensure that there is justice, criminal justice cluster functions okay, and all those bad guys, even if they might be my friends and my uncles and aunties, when you commit crime in my space and I know your weaknesses, I will bring you down.
Indeed. Ambassador, I know you have to go because it's a bit late in South Africa now. It is now 4:27 here in the United States, 3:27 in Kingston, Jamaica. Ambassador, you are a son of South Africa, a friend of Jamaica, a friend of the Jamaican people, a friend of myself and Wilfred Radigan and others. When you see what is going on in Bangladesh, Kenya, and right in our backyard, Venezuela, the people of Venezuela is standing up too. What do you think is going on with leadership around the world, and in particular, maybe in the Caribbean too? What's your views on that?
If the leadership of the countries in the Caribbean zone, Region 6, AU Region 6, as we would like, as it has been officially designated, Region 6 would be the Caribbean community and many other communities there. The people of the world have had enough. COVID-19 really tested the patience of the people, and the people are no longer willing to be told that this country will be closed down because there's a virus, wara, and many other things, and food security being threatened by food production being requested to be halted because of this or that reason that has been brought forward by authorities. People realize that governments of the world now are now enemies of the people. That's what you saw in the Sahel Valley. That's what you see in Bangladesh. That's what you see in Kenya. That's what you saw happen in Burkina Faso. That's what you saw happen in Niger. And that's what you saw. You saw the leadership of Burkina Faso in Niger coming into an alliance, sharing the same problems and bringing about new strategies and tactics that would ensure that there is national security, there are other securities, economic, environmental, and national security, and many other securities that would speak stability and normalized environments and situations.
Ambassador Andy Mashaile, when you look at our own country, Jamaica, a lot of people is saying that we got to be very careful in Jamaica because of, maybe the corruption and the nepotism that is going on in our country. That the people may not be as the people of Bangladesh and the people of Kenya and the people of Venezuela. But only when you look at what's going on in Venezuela, Venezuela is an oil-rich country. And yet the people in Venezuela is suffering. Do you think that at one point these dictatorial government will say, okay, we're going to step down? Are they going to get up one morning and just turn the army on the people?
I have focused my interest on Jamaica. I looked at the international or transnational organized crime index and looked at the performance of Jamaica, both from a criminality score and a resilience score.
Yes.
And Jamaica is not performing okay. That says to me there are serious challenges of crime in Jamaica, and there are serious issues on the criminality score. Jamaica is high. On the resilience score, Jamaica is very low. The resilience score would speak the ability to bounce back from the negative impacts of crime, be it transnational organized crime, human trafficking, gun smuggling, drug smuggling into Jamaica and out of Jamaica, and Jamaica being a transit point of drugs from the Caribbean communities as well as the Latin Americas of the world. You realize that there are some serious challenges and many others. Your story about SSL, and this afternoon, this morning, earlier this morning in South Africa, I was watching the Paris Olympics, and we were looking at the 200 and 100-meter races, and most of I was actually sitting in a restaurant for an SABC News TV for the late afternoon show news editions, and we stopped. They stopped recording, and we're looking for Jamaica in the lineup. Most of the people of South Africa would choose a Jamaican over an African American athlete, and they would go direct and provide support to a Jamaican athlete.
Mhm.
And we were looking at the lady who was running, I think it was 200 meters. She got position number 3. And I could see the frustrations of the people. They actually wanted that lady. It was a female race. They wanted that lady to keep the rest of the world. This suggests that South Africa, the people of South Africa, and when they look at Jamaica, they see the second home. I heard your beautiful description of who I am with regard to yourselves, Will, and Jamaica. Jamaica is my second home. We took lessons from Bob Marley when it was difficult, and he came to Zimbabwe. When he was singing that song Africa Unite, and he was talking about the people of Zimbabwe and the people of South Africa. And one of the songs is War. Yeah, one of my favorite songs when I was growing up was War, and we were learning from Jamaica. And I'm sure Jamaica does not have, I think your population is around 2 million, if I'm not mistaken.
2 to 3 million.
Pardon?
2 to 3 million.
2 to 3 million.
Yes.
Yeah. The people might look very quiet and very ignorant. They might mislead you, deceive you when you are leadership. To think that you are in control of the process, you are able to do this or that. That will keep the people in a situation where they cannot know what is going on. Our people know a lot, and my advice would be to the Jamaican leadership: spend time with the people of Jamaica, do things the right way. I know of a toll road built by the Japanese. When I speak to Jamaicans in South Africa, some of them are retired JDF members who talk to me about the toll road and many other things that stretches from one end of the world past Montego Bay or up to Montego Bay. The people are angry. The diaspora, the people in the diaspora in South Africa are angry. If I had the short clip that I received and the short voice note that we always exchange with this retired gentleman, you would understand that our people are fed up. Our people, meaning ordinary people walking down the streets who are not in big offices, are sick and tired of what is going on around the world and in places like Jamaica. The people, the leadership must understand that the people can only tolerate beatings up to a certain extent. Whether you hang us or you don't, that's what the people will do. We don't care. We are going to ensure that we rise. In 1863, there was a law in America called the Reckless Eyeball Act. If you were seen to be looking at a white woman, you would be told that your eyeball is reckless and you'd be hanged. That law from 1863 was only repealed, I think, in 1956, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there. The people got hanged and the people were beaten, but the people today became the president of America one way or the other. I'm saying, even if people are not violent, people will be very strategic. They will employ some of us to develop frameworks and to get wisdom, strategy with wisdom, so that they can be able to turn the situation around. I have seen violence in South Africa. I have been a victim of a violent enforcer of the system, Eugene de Kock, sticking a gun in my mouth and pulling the trigger twice. And I survived because that gun did not go off. So we know what violence can do. Some of my friends and brothers are still missing up to today from 1984. And there was that Truth and Reconciliation Commission, which to me looked like a game of Monopoly with no value, even though there were dollars, there were paper dollars on that board of Monopoly. That Truth and Reconciliation Commission still has kept people angry, because those who were in government and they perpetrated crimes against the people were never, it's only a few that got punished, but the people behind, the main people, the leadership, negotiations, were able to take care of their backside.
Ambassador, are you talking about the commission that led by Desmond Tutu and others? The late Desmond Tutu?
Yes, the late Desmond Tutu led the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. He went to his grave some few years back without publishing the report of the findings of the report and recommendations. And it's only now that some of the perpetrators, those who killed activists, those who stuck guns in people's mouth and pulled the triggers and killed some boys next to where I am now at the cradle of mankind in Krugersdorp, and there where they say everyone originated from. The guys who were 6 guys who were given booby trapped hand grenades. Some of them are still walking the street. That report, that commission was just useless. So the point that I'm making is it would be better to learn from these experiences for the leadership of Jamaica and the Caribbean communities where there are serious challenges to engage in discussions of openness and respect democracy, because the people are saying now in South Africa, we want those who committed the crimes against people to be hunted down, like the Nazis were hunted down. So you realize from what I'm saying, the whole process that was aimed at creating a simple coexistence that failed the people is now generating anger in the minds of the people, and the people are saying we want them prosecuted, whether there was a negotiated settlement or not. So leadership from all over the world can take lessons from South Africa, amongst others.
The same way the people of Jamaica has not gotten a report pertaining to what happened in the 2010 Tivoli Garden incursion, where a lot of Jamaicans were murdered. A lot of Jamaicans were murdered by the state, and nothing has been done about it, Ambassador. Not one single thing. And based on all of that, Ambassador, I think the people of our country, your country, South Africa, my country, Jamaica, and you said there's a lot of Jamaican retired JDF personnel who lives in South Africa who are saying that they had enough of what is going on in the country, Jamaica. I know you have to go now, I'll let you go now, but your words to the people of Jamaica and to the government of Jamaica.
My advice is for the leadership, one, to act responsibly and engage the ordinary leadership from the community, or the community based organizations leaders. In South Africa we call them CBOs, community based organizations leadership. That would mean your unions. And by the way, I'm a former shop steward of the National Union of Mine Workers, where Cyril Ramaphosa comes from, the president of the country. You engage with organizations that deal with human rights. You engage with organizations that represent those in the diaspora. You engage with those who are responsible for football, those who are responsible for the athletics in Jamaica. You engage the whole cross section of society in search of solutions that will improve the economy, that will ensure that national security is looked after. There's environmental security that would ensure that environmental crimes, theft of gold, theft of minerals, amongst others, is prevented or is stopped or is combated in a way and manner that will make sure that the people of Jamaica benefit from the minerals of Jamaica. So long story short, leadership must engage the other leadership. Those that are in government must spend time with political parties that are there, not only political parties, church leaders like in South Africa, church leaders like the Desmond Tutus in South Africa. I'm definitely sure that you have another Desmond Tutu in Jamaica, and many others who formulate the cross section of the community and young people and university students must be engaged so that there can be transformation throughout the various strata of the society.
Yes. I want to say thanks to Ambassador Andy Mashiley, security strategist and retired Interpol ambassador to South Africa, a son of South Africa and a son of Jamaica. Thank you very much for coming on the program at short notice, Ambassador.
Thank you very much, Jeff. To the leadership, when people engage in robust discussions of this nature, it's not aimed to show contempt and arrogance and rudeness. It is a genuine search for stability. It is a genuine search for development. It is a genuine search for an effective and efficient reconstruction and development program, the RDP of the soul as well as the RDP of the land. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Retired Interpol ambassador to South Africa, Andy Mashiley. Thank you so much for coming on, sir. Thank you. There you have it, my fellow Jamaicans and those around the world. Andy Mashiley, security strategist and retired Interpol ambassador to South Africa, came on to speak to us about what is going on in Sri Lanka and indeed in the rest of the Caribbean and in Jamaica. I think we all must stand up and realize, we all must realize that the people of the world in other countries around the globe will not stand by with these totalitarian governments and just sit down and say nothing. And I think the ambassador said some stuff that was really important to all of us. To all of us. I want to open up my phone lines. If you want to call in, the numbers to call in is 954-529-8030. We're talking about what is going on in Bangladesh. Is it going to spill over here in Jamaica? The numbers to call in is 954-529-8030. It's also a WhatsApp number. You can call into the program and give your views on what is going on. Doesn't have to be what we're talking about. It can be other stuff that is affecting you and affecting our nation, Jamaica, and other parts of the Caribbean. The numbers to call is 954-529-8030. That's the numbers to call into the program right here on the Mek Wi Talk program. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe to the Mek Wi Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. That's the numbers to call into the program. Wherever you're listening and watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean, this is the Mek Wi Talk program. And so many things happening today and from the entire weekend. One moment for me, please. Oh, Lord. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Mek Wi Talk program.
Hi, Jeffrey. How are you doing?
I am here looking and living, you know.
That make a few of us too. And that make a few of us.
Yes.
So how was your week?
Pardon me?
How was your weekend?
Oh, my weekend was good and I'm giving God thanks.
Yeah. I wonder if Andres your wagwan over girl. Our beloved Prime Minister, I want to see what is going on over the world. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Right? I think it's Dennis Brown sing this song. Are you ready to stand up and fight the right revolution? Are you ready to stand up and fight it just like soldier? All right. People can't take it so much and no more.
Were you listening to what Ambassador Andy Mashiley was saying? That he was a part of the movement in South Africa, the apartheid movement in South Africa, with the Walter Sisulu and the Nelson Mandela, and he threw stones and They put gun in his mouth and pulled the trigger. And you say to yourself, is this the country that I was born in? Where I stand and my own brothers are putting gun in my mouth? Because the color of their skin may be different, but if you bleed, it's the same blood, it's red.
Exactly. I don't like to say some have blue blood and some have red blood, like the octopus who have blue blood, you know, see, but definitely there's gonna come a time when Jamaican people gonna rise up. Marcus Garvey said they not realize until them back is on all. So them wanna rub off. We are seeing the bone. We're seeing the bone, and it's time. It's time. I think enough is enough. I think enough is enough. And this government, the government that is in power now, is just like they must look on people and say, okay, I'm still the talk. Maybe when you had so who not like it, just sit back and just be like, I just shut up.
I tell you something, you know, East Kingston. The government is laughing, you know, because you know why they're laughing? Because
they have us in the palm of their hand.
Nobody in the country is talking about anything. Everything is good in Jamaica. There's a few people on social media who don't live in Jamaica who continue speaking about what is going on in Jamaica. So obviously, we find things to speak about, while the Jamaican people who lives in Jamaica don't see anything wrong with the country. So they live as usual and say, okay, what those people are talking about is nothing. Not just while they can go and have a drink of their Hennessy and the boom and the this and the that, and they can go and have pool parties. They can go down to Dream Weekend. They can go all over the place. They don't think about those things. I remember the 1990s gas riot, you know.
Yes,
the University of the West Indies led the biggest demonstration in the history of Jamaica, you know. They're the one who led the demonstration from UWI straight to Jamaica. The demand to see the Prime Minister of the day, and that was Prime Minister Percival James Noel Patterson.
Yeah.
And they told him, and they told him, listen to me, roll back the gas price, roll it back. What happened nowadays is that the two political party has gone to the University of the West Indies and corrupt the minds of the young people in the
brainwash them.
You know, so when we outside of Jamaica speaking, it makes no difference, because if the people in the country do not stand for what they believe in and stand up for the country, then what we are doing outside of the country will not make any sense, because there's nothing going on.
Yes.
The country is okay. Yes. People are okay. You know.
Many more will have to suffer, many more will have to die. They ask me why.
One thing I know, you know. One thing I know. For those who were born in the 1990s, and for those who can remember the gas riot of the 1990s, the 14 parishes in Jamaica start burn one time. Let me make something clear on this program. This Mek Wi Talk program, hosted by me, is not inciting any riot or any demonstration. What I am saying, that what happened in the 1990s, the people of the country was sending a clear message to the government of the day. This government is saying to the people, no matter no black road nor nothing.
Yeah, because them fix the constitution only for fit them. Because the constitution is fixed to fit them.
Because they're telling the people, say, hey, no black no road, no follow the idiot them overseas, the old so-called
dirty.
Don't follow them. No black no road, no do nothing. And I think the people are confused in a sense by saying, what should we do? Because government badness is going on. Now the people of Sri Lanka, the people of Bangladesh, the people of Kenya, now the people of Nigeria, and the people of Venezuela are saying, we don't care what you want to say. We are going to say enough of you.
Yep.
And you hear the former Prime Minister talking about democracy. Prime Minister, if Jamaica was a true democracy, sir, do you believe that a policeman could step in a Jamaican citizen's neck?
And the next one kneel on my back. And when everything I tell him to get up, me not get up because me can't get up because you brought me back. You just brought me back from my neck right down.
And the so-called leaders of the country says nothing about it, Prime Minister.
Nothing, absolutely nothing.
Miss Kingston, thank you for calling in, my dear. Have a next call coming.
All right, have a good one.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Mek Wi Talk program.
Yes.
Can you turn off the TV or whatever in the background, please?
Yeah, yes, I will. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Yes, I just want to give my 2 piece on what's taking place in Bangladesh.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, I admire the university students in Bangladesh to take the initiative to defend the welfare of the unborn.
Defend their democracy, sir.
And the welfare of the unborn, because what's happening is that the people who initiate the revolution against Pakistan are given preferential treatment in terms of job allocation, and the university students demand that's not an unfair policy. So that they're rebelling against that. You mentioned that the students in UWI should be the ones to initiate change for the future. You can't initiate change when the policy is to promote same-sex union and gender neutrality in those zones. You have that level of resistance against the system where you have so much soy boys at the university. And there is always a hidden hand to organize the people to push back against corruption. In Jamaica, the civil society and all those organized groups, they are latent, hidden and covered. Their mouth is so deep in the trough that they're not going to initiate that change. The churches, the police federation, the teachers union, all of those organized groups are not going to push back against the system. So the opposition, the organized opposition, they are latent too, and they are not going to do that. So the diaspora, that's one of the biggest pushback against the evil bestowed on people by the ruling elites.
Yes.
And so the message for change from the diaspora is always welcome, and it's going to gradually impact on the wider society eventually. So keep doing what you do.
Let me ask you a question, though, sir. And before I ask the question, let me say something here to Robbie Thomas. What is going on in the United Kingdom is the same thing going on in Bangladesh, where the United Kingdom people are standing up. It's happening in
That's a different thing. A different thing with UK. UK people are actually leaking out against immigrants who come and take away the privileged position that they normally get into the job market. Yeah, it's similar, Jeffrey. You're right. It's similar to that in that sense. It's similar in that sense. Yeah, you're right. It's similar in that sense.
My question to you, though, sir. You and I come on this program here time and time again, and we speak about what is going on in our beloved country, Jamaica, that we love so much, the gem of the Caribbean. And when we speak, we send up our blood pressures and all sort of thing. And the people of the country said us sit down, not saying one single thing. Do you believe that the change that we seek in Jamaica will come from the people within the diaspora, the people of Jamaica not standing up, sir?
I believe the people in the diaspora are sending the right message, And it's resonating with the people in Jamaica eventually. It's resonating, Jeffrey, because the people are pushing back in their own little way. The local government election is a testimony to that.
Yes.
Remember, the JLP spent a lot of money and they took the JLP money and still vote them off. So what the diaspora has been highlighting is resonating with the people. So just be patient, Jeffrey. You'll see your just reward in the to come.
I am just saying this, okay? You know why I'm saying this? As I said before, and I want a DJ Palmer to know something here. That I'm one of them who spend hours on my platform calling for justice for you. So, Mr. Palmer, don't bother think that I am here fighting you or whatever. I'm not. What I was saying is that when I see the amount of Jamaicans that came out and stand up for Mr. Palmer to be free, and they said justice for DJ Palmer, are they thinking that the same system that incarcerate Mr. Palmer, the corrupt system? Let me make something clear. I was not there, nor am I trying to be a lawyer. I was not there for any crime committed or no crime committed. I'm not trying to be a lawyer. I may have family members who are lawyer, whatever. I am not trying to be a legal mind person.
You highlighted the prosecution of Mr.
Right.
In a program.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you have a director of public prosecution who gonna deal with tainted jurors, I wonder if the Jamaican people understand what the former director did.
Well, Mr. Jeffrey.
Yes.
I might get a lot of pushback in defending the lady, the DPP, because I know in the past she has contributed to the stability of the nation. She has mastered the social, cultural, political dynamics of the country, and she has played a role to maintain stability. And for that reason, I gotta give her a respect, you know, because if she had taken certain directions, you would have had the same thing in Bangladesh long time ago. If she had taken a certain position as a lady of authority, so you got to give her respect. She has maintained cultural, social, and political stability by her utterances and by her actions. So you got to give her respect for that. And she has mastered all the dynamics culturally about the nation. So you got to give her. And I think, as I said before, I get pushback in advocating for her to pursue her job if she see there's a loophole in the system and she love her job and she still have the time on her hand to continue in her position, and I think she should be allowed the privilege to continue her work. None of us are perfect. None of us. Hey?
All right, sir. Thanks much.
Big up yourself. Big up yourself.
Welcome, man. Thank you. For those who did not get us, you can call in now. The number to call is 954-529-8030. It is also a WhatsApp number. The phone lines are open. 954-529-8030. The numbers are running across the screen on the bottom side there, the downside. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Mek Wi Talk program. You're live.
Jeffrey.
Yes.
I rubbish that brother that the only thing parliamentarian is corruption. I hate when people come on the program and chat bullshit.
Hold on now. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, my brother.
That is true, but guess what? You never come on the program and chat rubbish. That is total rubbish. The only thing parliamentarian is corruption. And it was proven the other day. It was proven in England. It was proven back in Jamaica. It was proven. The only thing she maintained is corruption. And she was only staying in there to ensure that her bodies don't go to prison. And it is a plain truth. So when I like the flip-floppers, man. It's like you talk about Bangladesh and you talk about this, but at the same time, be truthful to your own nation. That's all I'm stand corrected. I'm not going to say allegedly. Allegedly. It is proven. That's all she maintains is corruption. Corruption.
Do you think, because the question to the man I asked, I don't think he has answered the question, you know. The question I asked, do you think that the Jamaican people understand the dynamics of what went on, why Mr. Carter got free?
No, they don't, because let me tell you this. They not educate the people of Jamaica, you know. So some of them, if I never for the Dirty 30 Andre program and Isaac Buchanan, enough of the people them don't know about politics, they don't know about law. I since for last 2 years or a year and a half to start, some of them, even myself, start know about the dynamics of law and politics and what to look out for, what not to look out for. People are ensure that they do the right thing by suing the government when the government mess around them. One time when people are sue government, then I get the money in it. Everybody I get their money now. Because it takes time to learn. And it will take us time. But guess what? Then this chuckle with chicken back money and box food money and Guinness money and ganja money and they call it special money. They don't know them value. I mean, Bob Marley and Marcus Garvey is a shame of them because Bob Marley teach them. That's all they have to do. To watch documentary of Bob Marley. It is clear as day.
True.
The only thing the woman maintain is corruption. And sometimes it make me wonder. You know what it make me wonder? If she's being held against her will to maintain corruption. If I say go Paula, come out and talk, man. You look nasty and bad to the world, man. You look nasty and bad to England. You look nasty and bad to Africa. You look nasty and bad to the Caribbean. You look nasty and bad to the US. Everybody attack, boy. And guess what? They must watch her, you know, because position like these, you know, she will go in carrying herself, you know, she will go kill herself. Because I doubt she can stomach the fact that Vibes Cartel get released. Some bad word on dirty bad word when we cuss and cuss all. Wait, judge name? What's your name?
Bishop?
McDonald.
Bishop, yes.
But before me go, you see Bishop McDonald?
Yes.
You know, me I think about it the other day, Jeffrey. Me I say, if that lady can come out and talk to the ghetto youths of Jamaica, just plead with them before they come in front of her. Let them know that, hey, guys, listen, let go off of certain things. Stay focused. Because when you come in front of me, I gotta be just. Me I warn you before you come in front of me. Do a daily talk with them. Daily affirmation with them. These are the things we get the youth want, you know. They want to know, say, the people above them can talk with them. But guess what? They will only listen to the honest one. And right now to Jamaica, Justice McDonald are the honest one to Jamaica right now.
And I believe in my heart of heart. Well, I'm suggesting then, I believe. I'm suggesting to a DJ Palmer, aka Vibe Cartel, to really rally around the young people of Jamaica in the sense of telling them, hey, what went on is not good. Don't get yourself in any trouble. I think he should turn a
He might do that, man. He might do that. But if entertainment a theme thing, but I know him about
yes.
I know him about talk to the youth of Jamaica through the song. But it's just for the youths to listen. But as I said, Jeffrey, I don't know if I can try to get an interview with Justice McDonald and propose that to her.
I don't think we can get interview with judges, you know. What I can do,
well,
I can ask somebody in the law, in the legal fraternity who is associated with her to see if, you know, we can maybe ask somebody to come on. I don't think the judges, I'm not sure, I'm going to check it out. But I've never seen any judge in Jamaica.
You know, think she can speak to the public in terms of talking to the youth of Jamaica?
I think she can, and I think, you know, I think it all depends, but it all depends in a sense. But I think for her to come out and be on a radio program or a TV program, I don't remember if I've ever seen something like that before. I know the Chief Justice of Jamaica has done that before, but I don't think the judges can do that. I'm not sure. I'm yet to be corrected by that.
Well, I can tell you, sir, right now, based on even people I talk to, right now, you should come out and talk. Because they not listen to the politician. And the first thing they must say, I want to dirty drunk from can't talk, I want to thief.
Yes.
I want to give a gun. I want to sell me, go lick down Barely Young. I want to send me, go do this and send me, go do that. They're not going to listen to them, but they will listen to the lady because she's just unfair.
True. True. Well, as I said before,
that's all the youths of Jamaica need is guidance.
Yes. Well, as I said before, what I can do, I can reach out to somebody who is associated with her and see if she don't come on, if she can give us something to talk or to read or to play, addressing the youths of the country,
Yeah, she needs to come out and talk, man. We don't want to hear Andrew unless we don't want to hear the sleepy thieving one. The sleepy one from Mobile. We don't want to hear you. Just this McDonald one.
Sleepy one that.
The Chang. Thieving Chang. We don't want to hear Thieving Chang. We want to hear Justice McDonald. I'm going to say it on one program before. I'm going to say it again. We want Justice McDonald to come speak to the youths of Jamaica. If it means that she has to go around on tour at the 14 parishes, then it's better for go and go talk to them than to have them in front of you. I send them to prison for 30 odd years. I send them to prison for 25 years. I send them for 10 years. Talk to them, man. Make them know that I am whatever. When I come before me when I do a crime, when I come with appeal, I mean, I tell them from now, do the right thing. They will listen.
Yes.
If it means that she have to say, don't follow these politicians and then come to know with gun because none of them not do the sentence, you know.
I don't
none
think
of them not.
There are certain things that she won't go down into, but I don't think she'd ever say that because remember, you have to be careful when you become a judge for a country, you gotta be careful what you say. And that is why I hear some people talking about, let me say this. I wasn't gonna touch it, but I'm gonna touch it. I hear some people talking about cartel former lawyer Thomas Tavares Finson that he shouldn't say anything as a politician. If they listen to what Mr. Finson said, he said it in the capacity of an attorney, not the capacity of the president of the Senate of Jamaica. Listen to what he said. Good. I hope I can find it. But he said it as a capacity as a attorney at law in the legal field and a former lawyer for the accused, or not the accused, for Mr. Cartel. And I think our problem that we face in this country that we don't listen. We don't listen and we don't read and we don't understand in this country.
But let me say something to you now, Mr. Chief. Back to what I said earlier. Nobody now gonna listen to politicians. Remember Tom Tavares on the jail.
I am not saying, hold on, no. I know somebody if you listen to him, I was
using
an example of something.
I understand. Yes. He can say what he must say, but I don't know if I hear about back then when you say when your parents say come like the message go through one ear and come through the other.
True.
People already see.
But I guarantee you that you will never get Justice McDonald to come out and speak to the white
nation.
Like no.
Well, guess what? Me feel it in my soul. It sound like Bob Marley now. It a come from my heart because I love my brothers and sisters. And nobody was born wicked. When you're born for your mother, you was an innocent little boy. And then in your community, your bad influence guided to the wrong road. So guess what? You see, if you derail from the road, you can come back on the right road. Because guess what? You have the willpower there within you. And based on how the lady present things the other day, me see get the youth that said a woman a fear. Then say they love him. Just talk to them. Right now, the whole of GP love her. The whole of GP see her as a fair and just person,
Yep.
Me hear man from GP say, boy, she no give she no win me appeal, but me still respect the lady there because she just and truth. When I can hear a bad man or a gunman say something like that, what I say to you? Then now you don't tell Andrew, don't tell Andrew if you go near out him, mama go find him father with jacket father. No, then I'm gonna say about
What you
just
saying? Because me no know the Prime Minister jacket, you know.
where them I say.
Well, let
Where
them
them
say
I
it.
say.
There's certain things I will not say in this program here because I have to be very careful.
I'm not saying, I'm just speaking on what
Right.
people are saying.
Yeah.
You know? I'm just speaking on behalf of what people are saying. Nobody love and respect the Prime Minister except for the one that can get a bull of money. The one that can get one.
And that is so a shame because when you have a leader of a country that your citizens don't respect you, it's sad.
Let me say something here. You see when then Josie and Joe, when me say when you Bruce Golding, come you respect Bruce Golding, you know? When they man they talk and they action, they kind of see, you know, at 70% good in him. But when you see Andy to Andrew and me I say, boy, probably Bruce sit down with him and tell him, say, look here, take off from when me start, when I left off, and do a good job. But when me respect the man to the fact that me I say, boy, I'm a good Prime Minister of Jamaica. But me look and how the man kick and thump the young people and put him in a power. Because no old somebody not put him in a power, you know? Me say, not all somebody no vote for him. I pay young people vote for him. And do the way I see him deal with young people. Me have to look at him and say, boy, I can't trust nobody in this earth. And you see him I go to the primary school. Him I go to the high school. Because what? He knew that it was young people who put him in. I'm trying to win their trust again. You can't do that, Andrew. You do care about, you know, you're going to just take whatever millions or billions you have, leave the people of Jamaica alone, hand it over to Smadway. We're capable, we love the people, we want to do for the people. You get enough.
Yes.
You can't just want power now. Left power alone. Power will make you mad, power will kill you. Power will put it on a road where even people from overseas, even leaders who want to come here. You have to show love and respect. People love Jamaicans around the world, you know.
Oh, yes.
And the Prime Minister, they love it, you know. Are the people of Jamaica. Because everybody knows that the Prime Minister of Jamaica are the people them under bondage. Fear, set the people them free. Set the people them free. I mean, I call upon Justice McDonald again. Come and talk to the youth. Talk to the youths of Jamaica.
I never said that you'll never come and talk to the nation. Listen to what I said. I said I do not think she will come on social media. Based on what I know, as I said before, I'm yet to be corrected. I've never heard a judge address the nation of Jamaica. And you all need to listen.
Well, guess what, man? Guess what, Jeffrey? Jeffrey,
go ahead.
We need to put it out there. We need to put it out there. Saturday, I'll call Ratty program, and we are going to say it again. I'm going to say it again. All media platform need to call upon Justice McDonald to talk to the youth of Jamaica. Miss McDonald or Mrs. McDonald, nobody now want to hear the politics, but nothing from the politicians. They will listen to you. Come out when it is fresh with Vibes Cartel. Talk to the youth of Jamaica. Can really and truly.
Another thing again. Okay. Justice McDonald come out and speak to the young people of this country. Do you believe that the one speech she give will resonate with the young people of this country?
No, it won't, because reputation is key. Reputation is key. Repetition is key. Repetition is key. And I am asking when she is doing it, if you can do it with Mr. Vibes Cartel on the platform with you, do it.
My brother.
Do anything to see. Do anything to see. Let me say, do anything. Hold on. Do anything to save the country. Do anything to save the country. That's all me I say. People do anything bad, to hold on the country. Right now, we need to do anything to save our children. Me soon dead and gone, you know. My youth, them, I think, boy, my grand youth, them, and other people, grand youth, and it's gonna be worse, you know, Jeffrey. I wonder if you know, say, it's gonna reach a point when I think police can talk to it. It's gonna reach a time, it called soldier talk, all box gun, them all get. And they say it go to. We have to save the nation. When if the revolution was start in Jamaica, was start at 18, it's go worse than 18.
True.
Remember them youth just had darkness and then this and then that and then afraid to dead. So what I say is talk to the youth. I want to think what them do. Keep the people them hungry. Jeffrey, when me hungry, and me not have food in my house. Say when me in work, and me hungry, me not have food in my house. Me I think about what me can go do physically. Not bad, you know. Remember one time I go ask someone to do some construction. I mean I'm a 760 subject, still on pan. I feel like Jamaica because I have a farmer station in on pan. I feel like Jamaica because Jamaica not going on. When me hungry, I'm not getting to work, I'm still some construction work. I'm going to ask him and the man tell me no. I'm go working next day and he tell me no. You know when me start that, Jeffrey? Me go up on the site and start carry the block. And he must say me not pay, you know. I'm say no problem, man. Me go and work, Jeffrey. You see on the day done, and give me our money. What me I go do? Me have to just do something. Show him me worthy of doing the job. And he pay me for the day and then it's alright then, thanks. He said come back tomorrow. Work with the man for 4 months. If you keep the people them hungry and then have nowhere, then have no willpower to say, boy, never find something to do. Them are gonna be rebellious. When you're hungry, you're angry. And when you realize you know you can't feed the picnic or send him back to school. And when you look your neighbor have 4 goats, you have to start pray your neighbor goat. When you look your neighbor have one shop where do well, where you go there, you have to start pray your neighbor shop. And if you go for broke the shop and the neighbor in there, your brain determines your picnic have to go back to school. You could get rid of your neighbor.
True.
You cannot keep the country hungry. I back to school now and thousands of people in Jamaica can't find a bag to go back to school. What do you think I got, Jeffrey? They can't find shoes to go back to school.
A school reached out to me from St. Anne, you know. And I'm trying to do it on my own to send because let me see something here. I know they send me something here. Hold on there. Don't move it to me, my friend. Don't move. Let me find where it is. Hold on. There, hold on. Here it is. Yes. A box of book is for $76.99 on Amazon. And the backpack, when they call it knapsack in Jamaica, 24 of them is for $89. And they send me this, you know, because they're asking me to do it from the program. And I said to them, so listen to me. I want to promise you guys anything. So I'm glad you say it to me. I don't know if anybody on the platform here can assist in donating towards a case of book, a case of pencil, and a case, the 24 backpack, we call it knapsacks.
You know how that look bad now, Jeffrey? That is shameful, you know.
It is.
The youth here come and beg. Book and pencil. For sure, you say that's why crime can't done. Or you feel beg people to buy book and pencil to the youth of Jamaica. That should be given even free to the youth.
Honestly, I don't understand. God know and God's in my heart. If I had it, every year, I'm gonna do something, you know. I'm gonna do something. Come next year, God spare my life. Every year, I'm gonna see if I can load a container. A load a container with some books and bags and this and that. And just go distribute them at one school One school gets some, another school gets some, another school gets some.
Make sure you not give the school, you give the pit and
Yeah,
them.
man. Give the kids them. Let's go and give the kids them. Don't give the pit me. I don't trust them.
You know, say Jeffrey, you know, say about 3 months ago, it's like a calling. Me feel a calling over my life. I said, boy, I need to go to Jamaica. We're going to politics in the youth. Well, I tell you, Jeffrey, me have to find at least 7 brothers behind me or beside me if you even think about going at that.
One thing I
Because
can tell you,
no parents of Jamaica, rich, poor, indifferent, should never have to buy a book and a pencil to go back to school.
One thing I can
That's
tell
the
you
first thing.
That you see me here talking about Jamaica. You have to be very careful when you enter politics in Jamaica. You hear me?
I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
But you see, when you go in there, Jeff, remember this. You have to put the people around you were real and just, even though it's hard to trust people.
You see, I agree in what you're saying. But when it comes on to get things done in the Parliament of Jamaica, that is where you get the blockage.
Well, guess what? The people of Jamaica will talk, you know. The people of Jamaica will talk because of the first thing I got nobody enough to pay for education. No university enough to pay for education. Educate the people in Jamaica on all crime and violence down.
Hold on for me. For those who want to donate to the books, you can send to my Zelle. I only have a Zelle account. I don't have no what they call it, Cash App and whatever else. Me not have that. It's only Zelle me have. So if you can send it to the Zelle account, send it to the Zelle account. There it is my email address. Just to the Zelle. The school is in Northwest St. Ann. The school is in Northwest St. Ann. They reach out to me and they ask me for help. They say if it's 3 box of book, 3 box of pencils, whatever knapsack we can send, that'll be good.
Jeffrey, you see, men are saying enough to give the youths them that, you know. Basically, the parents them
hold on for me. The person who from Canada, can you call me when the program is over and I'll tell you what to do, please? Person from Canada who live in the cell, call me when the program is over, please, and I'll tell you what to do. Yeah, my friend, go ahead.
Now, I say this to Jeffrey and run because I have some meetings to attend to.
Yes.
I appreciate the fact that you ask the donation to the youth of Jamaica. But one thing I tell the people of Jamaica, you see, every day somebody have to go fish, you know, and go on the fishing now.
May I tell you?
And the now go become better. The government of Jamaica have a whip over on head, a lace and I feel it, on the spirit I feel it. On the mind clog. Open on the mind. Let this be the last year Jeffrey have to come. And say, boy, I'm going to look at the donation for youth. You step out. You see, if you think you're not being treated unfairly, take it to the street. You can outnumber the police them and the soldier them. You can outnumber the government of Jamaica. You know the voter, you talk. Go stand up in front of Garden House. Go stand up in front of the Prime Minister house and make you know what time it is. Make you know some of the people them must suffer. You don't have to go back road to sell, you know. I tell you now. I know no found around a back road now and do it. I agree, say you can't go to the market to sell because that's a history that some people love the market selling, and which is good because food that to eat. But I'm not for selling nobody. I'm not for a big handout. But why I go to minister, I beg them all a good check to go buy a bag. No, I'm not have to do that. I saw them control enough. When you have to go to a person to beg them something, then control it that way. Stand up to them and own run the country. If you have to go with the Maroons and march with the Maroons, they're going to take back on the place, you know.
They're not going to march with the Maroon master because if them still go with the Maroons and I know they're not get up with the nothing.
That's why I tell us that they not educate the people of Jamaica. You know when we want them to carry back in a school September morning.
Yeah.
And you see if they not carry back in a school September morning, we want every parents go to school but lucky gate them. We want them to lucky gate them with padlock. Listen me, I say we want them carry back in a school September morning. And see if they not carry it in, we want to hold on to stand up. You see the Constitution. You see the Constitution, Jeffrey.
Yes.
I want that in a school September morning. And you see, uno Jamaicans, they say, if uno go stand up in front of the school and ensure say that is a subject in school. Remember me tell you, Jeffrey, me's a man I love down here, but me can tell you, say, me not say nothing done this to nobody. I want to go stand up in front of the school and ensure so no Pitneywaga primary school and Pitneywaga high school now. They might teach them the constitution and everybody get a printout of the constitution.
Let me ask you a question. If we are over here, Rattigan, myself, and Isaac on our program talking about the constitution, me carry constitution reform things live on my program. God bless the handful of people come over here. You believe they're not going in front of our school? Go stand up.
Well, yes, who may have a call upon now? You see the people in our stand up. You see the teachers them. You see the teachers them who teach. You see the constitution in the school. When they don't go to school September morning.
You think the poor teacher? No, I'm not just them to do it. Is the family? Is the kids, people, mother and father to do it? Not the teachers.
When you go lucky gate if you pick them now learn the constitution from basic school. Lucky gate them with padlock. I mean, I talk about the police them because them themselves don't know the constitution. If you feel say your officer you know the constitution and you have 4, 5, 6 people where you want to have and them go to school, remember you know they're in the arms with anything can happen to now, the people gone to not. The constitution need to be taught in school. And that them I use a chain, you know. When you don't know the constitution and that them I use a padlock, you know. I mean, a call for Isaac Buchanan get some security around him. Because me I tell you, the people them here. Jeffrey, did you know that 30% of Jamaica, the uneducated ones, they know about the constitution now?
Yes, man.
A little. So you have 70% leave to go. No, sir.
Yeah.
So if within a 10-year period you can teach the constitution from basic school. Straight up.
Right.
They can't fool the people. So Jeffrey want to say it now. More the constitution in a school from basic school. It's like when I say Jesus loved the little children. More the pick them can say even 5 lines or 5 paragraph of the constitution by the time they left basic school. And then continuously say it. And you see it, have more lawyers and more doctors that come out. When people know them right, you can't trick them, so you have to start do the right thing. Wrong, am I right, Jeffrey?
You're right, man.
And I hope how so much people watch a program. You go see if how much people is 292 people, may I say. So you see if these 292 people can spread the word by a morning, September morning, they're right around the corner. You see, 200, you gone on to 85, so probably the idiot them run. You see, if we don't spread the word by a man, no, the politician they may attack, man. Probably them the one that will listen to you run now to say, who is that person? You see, if by a man in on start go on the TikTok and say the constitution need to be taught in school or teach in school, remember me telling the son of doom. We don't have to run from Jamaica if the constitution start teaching at school. If the constitution start teaching at school, Jeffrey, nobody now have to take the work program. You hear me say, Jeffrey? Unless them want go a foreign for a work program. Start the constitution from basic school and see if you have a better Jamaica. You hear me say, Jeffrey? But want you to push that for your program. You start, you come out every Monday to Friday?
I come on when I can, my brother.
But every time you come on, more you push it. Because you see, it 285 go on the TikTok now and start squeal. So the constitution need to be.
I can tell you, my brother. And when I think I'm negative, I'm not negative. Hold on for me. One thing I can tell you, is this. That we will say X, Q, Y, Z to push constitution and so forth in schools and whatever. We can say it, yes. We can do this, yes. The powers lies with the people who are put in the Parliament of Jamaica. And if they're not listening to the people of this country, what they're going through, You think they're gonna listen and respect us by saying what's the constitution in school? Let us see.
Well, here we are do. That's why I put it out there now for we try it. Every day you come on the program, make the people them know. Tell the dirty
the fact of the matter is that what me using as an example, if when Wilfred Rattigan and Isaac Buchanan on my program and their program come and talk about constitutional reform and about the constitution, and God bless the amount of people over here. Do you all think they want to know about the constitution?
Jeffrey, we have to look for a lot of aspects. Remember, the people are not getting the money to pay. So them after the out that slave, they make up one money and stuff, they make up our money and stuff.
But they can go over and listen to who Andrew did this and who did with this and who did with that.
Yeah, right. Okay. You're so right. And that's why I tell them now, because some of them depend on a lot of programs. So I say, when you go over the other program, lobby for it. So when you not message in the group, tell them someone want the constitution in a school. We want in a school. I mean, the man curfew that saying one, what's it much $1 billion for make the school system better. I'm a real the man curfew and respect him enough. But I'm still not hear him say the key thing. I'm wanting to hear this. Crawford, they miss out one thing. We value the amount of billion you want to fix the school. The only thing I want in the schools, Damien Crawford, is to put the constitution in the school. Teach the youths them their right. And see if you not have, within a 5-year period, if you not have a different society.
It's not only the constitution can change Jamaica. The constitution is the main one can change Jamaica, but a lot of things need to change the country, sir.
A lot. That's why I said 2 key factors here now. Justice McDonald come out and talk to the people and the constitution to start teaching at school. And the constitution need to be a national. There's a national anthem that need to be.
All right, my brother. Thanks much.
Yeah, you take care.
Yeah, man. Cool. Thank you. He gave some very important facts and very important thing to say. Let me say this now. I'm asking a pack of pencil, 50 pack of pencil is $9.99. On order over 35, you get free shipping. Out of $35, you get free shipping. Okay. The backpacks, what they call knapsacks, is $89 for 24 packs. Yes, correct. Now I'm seeing it here, right? And a box of black ink. Do they use pens in school? I know they use pencils. $32 for a box of pencils. Oh. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Mek Wi Talk program. You're live.
Good evening, Jeffrey.
Yes, sir.
Well, I just want to look at something I could say and make you go back to the program. Come and listen. It's so alright. The people have the power, right?
Yes.
You hear me?
Yeah, man. Man,
the people have the power. Yeah?
Yeah, man.
But when election come around, what the people them vote for?
Good question. They vote for them party and them prime minister, sir. And then the person who they love.
So if that they want, not that them are go get.
Thank you.
Because nobody no put country over party,
In Jamaica they do that, sir.
All right, thank you very much. No, they put party over country. All they want to jump up, and yeah. Me tell you something. Yeah. Yes, so the people who write the laws and the people them who have put things in place to impact the majority, them use some like a fancy word. Yeah? And trick the people. The people them laugh and jump up and yeah. But they don't know that, listen, what is being implemented right now it might not have a major impact on you immediately, but you see 2-3 months down the line, you're gonna sufferation. I said no worse than sufferation will come. You understand? Because they who are them in a power, they make sure say them secure for them generational wealth. There you go. So you see them little man upon the can and all the little jump up the people who put party over country. And them you see come jump up and protest and ball about me tired, murder this, woy. But when you have to make your voice be heard, because I know literally the sound will come out of your mouth of power, you know. I went to you go up on the polling station and you write on the piece of paper. That's how the power there, you know. You could attack from now till God come. That not no power.
The Jamaican people, sir, from ever since I know myself.
Yeah, man, listen.
In a sense, the Jamaican people, sir, don't vote for infrastructure. They don't vote for a country, sir. They vote for their party.
No, man, I'll show you something still, you know, Jeffrey. Listen to me, you know. Japan get 2 nuclear bombs. Right? Follow me, you know. Yeah? And look on Japan today. You understand what I say? What I'm saying is this: a country where bomb up, a country where I come from nothing, rebels. You understand? And look on them today.
Japan have leaders, and the leaders have vision for their country, sir.
So where Jamaica have?
What kind of leader Jamaica have? Jamaicans have leaders.
Remember say, you know my one say, but me say them have criminals in our office. You might afraid to say it, but me say they have criminal people just want where they think about the self-interest. Self-interest. You know what? The youth them must say clocks, someone put on one clocks and go stand up with them, must get them vote. Full stop. Yeah? Just go laugh and talk with them, get them vote, and then we'll go rob them for the next 5 years.
True.
Simple. Pressure them for the next 10 years. Laugh and talk with them, pressure them again. That is what the youth them not see that. When you vote, what you vote for? Election will come right, I come up now. When you go vote, where you are going to vote for? Ask yourself that question before you go vote.
I'm not going to ask the question.
You understand? The country will never better then. Because you say, where you go vote for? Oh, me a die to PMP, oh, me a die to Labour right. You want the PMP come tell us, say, you what go on, we are going to put GCT up at 50% or whatever you buy. Labour right. So we are going to put GCT up at 50%. Yeah? And then people go vote. Yo, my party are coming up power, my party I went at the 50% GCT, leak them.
Can I say something to you?
Yeah?
Can I say something to you?
Sure, man, ask me. Sure, man.
I am going to carry the conference of both political parties on my platform here.
Yes, man, that's a good guy. People, that's where people come with.
I want you to listen to me. You see?
Yes, sir.
And I want you to listen to the program. Majority of the time when the speakers are there speaking, you know, appear, oh, yeah, here. They're not listening to the speaker, they're saying, you know, then blow their hand and then listen to one single thing. So the speaker can say, look here, tomorrow morning I send out the army pound for kill and yay.
Thank you very much. They don't know where them are vote for. You understand? And through that are the country demise.
Yes.
Yeah? Jamaica backside. And before the government said, I could buy the machine for export aluminum instead of backside because aluminum price much higher than backside. Yeah? Even though money sell out this and sell out that and sell out this, and then the country don't want nothing, and now you want to put pressure upon poor people now.
Then
yeah?
Who make them sell it? No, you can sell it.
Oh, wait, I told you, put them in the board and can't sell it.
Hold on here. if we
Never.
was demanding accountability from the both political parties in this country from 1962 until now, or from 1935 until now, you believe that they could just jump up and start selling things up unknown to we?
No.
Okay.
No. No audit. Where the audit them there?
Anyway.
But the thing about it, you know, if I'm a friend, you know, because it's like husband and wife of them don't buy top right the son and them a call all like shots, you know. So if the husband say, well, I'm gonna do this, you know, the wife have to agree.
Anyway, my brother.
Yes.
I wanna tell you
wow, good.
Yeah, man, I gotta go. Thank you. Yeah, man. Back to school supplies. Can you assist, please? 24 backpack, otherwise known as knapsack in Jamaica, is $89 on Amazon. And why does Amazon? Because we can ship it directly to Jamaica. We need, to me, I would say they need 3 boxes of knapsacks, 5 boxes of books, and maybe 4 boxes of pencils. The books are the books are $79 each for a box of a box of 48. Yes. Yes. Box of 48 in them. So I would say 5 boxes of those is $76.99 for one. If you all can assist, I would greatly appreciate it. And the pencils, 50 whole in a pack, and that's for $99. And if you go over order of $35, you can get free shipping by Amazon. So it's the books and the pencils I'm concentrating on. The books and the pencils, and I think they must use pen now too. So one case is a pen for $32.29. All right. So if you can assist us, you can send it to my Zelle. I will show you the boxes. I will show you how the money is being spent. When I go on Amazon and pay for them, I'll show you the receipt and everything. And when they deliver to the school's gonna have videos to send to me that, hey, this is what we have done. Because me no want nobody call my name pan nothing. I'm a very independent person. Since me come pan here, so me start asking people for things. And normally I don't. So if you all can assist, please do so. The Zelle is running across the screen there. The person who lives in Canada, if you can assist us, call me after the program and I'll tell you what to do. Thank you all very much for coming on the program. It is now 5:47, 4:47 in Jamaica. I want to say thank you all for coming on the program. Thank you all for being a part of the program. And remember to continue to hold up our country and our brothers and sisters in our prayers. And let us continue to lift each other up, not tear down each other. Not tear down each other. Let's lift each other up. Let's continue to lift each other and lift each other up in a sense where, you know, we can say, yes, our brothers achieved something, our sisters have achieved something. Continue to lift each other up. Continue to hold your country in your prayers. Continue to pray for your family and other brothers and sisters of our country and around the world. Until you hear my voice again, may God bless you. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Mek Wi Talk YouTube channel. Thank you all very much for making 15,000 subscribers I have now. Let's make it to the 20,000. Take a little time, but let's make it to 20,000. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Mek Wi Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Until you hear my voice again, may God bless you. And may God bless Jamaica land we love. Yes, Zelle is the only method of donation that I have. As I said before, the person that asked me for help and I was trying to do it on my own, but I can't do it on my own. And Zelle is the only method of donation that I have If you can call me off air, maybe I can tell you what to do otherwise than Zell. Call me off air. You have everybody know my number is 9545298030. Call me off air, and then I can tell you how to donate apart from Zell. But Zell is the only method that I have. Thank you all very much for coming on the program. May God bless you, and may God continue to bless our island home, Jamaica land we love. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Until you hear my voice again, have a great afternoon, everyone.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, Mek Wi Talk, my people, Mek Wi Talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Mek Wi Talk, people, Mek Wi Talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, Mek Wi Talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Mek Wi Talk.